Hello Podcats, Geoff Gascoigne here. Today I'm in Leighton Buzzard to see an old friend of mine, Alan Barnes. Alan's a multi-award-winning alto saxophone player, band leader and record label owner. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him on the train, and I think he's going to pick me up.
The Quartet Jazz Standards podcast is brought to you by the Quartet app for iOS, taking your jazz play along to another level.
Hello.
Hiya.
How are you?
All right.
Good.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks for inviting me. I get a little peek into your world.
Oh man, you don't know the Hoovering's just done.
Hoovering? Yeah. What, because you've got a guest coming round? You didn't have to. Just see my house. So here I am with Alan Barnes. Thanks
Hello.
for having me.
No, delighted.
Yeah. It's so funny coming into someone's house. I get to talk to people that I haven't really had any deep chat with before, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I get a little peep into your life. I can see your beautiful vinyl and your...
My unsold CDs.
the unsold, yeah. Yeah. That's not that many there. That's
No,
okay.
but that's just one outcrop of it.
Yeah.
They're around the house.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Can I just ask you about how you got started and where the jazz came from?
Well, my initial thing with jazz was an Acker Bilk record that came through the door from a World Records. Well, it was like a floppy disk, but not what we call a floppy disk.
I remember
now.
floppy disks. Yeah, you used to get them in magazines and stuff.
Yeah,
didn't you?
and you had to put them on top of a single and play them. And one side was Charmaine by Mantovani, and the other side was Acker Bilk playing Stranger on the Shore.
Wow.
Which I thought was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard. So I got a clarinet and...
And you still play clarinet now?
Yeah. I've been very fortunate. My dad made me get grade 8 on the clarinet before he'd get me a saxophone.
Right.
And it was the best thing. I've moaned about it at the time. It's the best thing that's happened to me in subsequent years, being able to double on the clarinet.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say it about yourself, but well.
Yeah.
Because
clarinet's difficult, isn't it?
it is, and you have to start on it. I've been less successful on the flute, of course.
Right.
But,
But you do play flute as well.
I've more or less stopped now. I think that the world deserves a break.
So what are your doubles then when you do a big band gig?
Well, I can play enough flute to play like third flute parts and things, but my main doubles are clarinet and bass clarinet. Play a lot of bass clarinet.
That's a gorgeous instrument, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Wow. So you listened to Acker Bilk. He was your first.
It was, yeah.
Did you ever get to play with him?
Yeah, I toured with him when I was with Humphrey Littleton's band, only in the big jam session at the end of the set. But I got to know him quite well. He was a really great bloke.
Yeah.
Hilarious guy.
It's funny because my wife Trudy, she when she first came over from Australia, she worked in Acker's booking office.
She told me this. Yes, I remember her telling me. Yeah. Which was known as the Bilk Marketing Board.
I love that. How did you get into improvising?
My dad's had a friend who played cornet in a trad band, swing band really, called Geoff Hayes' Hot Heights, which was run by an ice cream chemist called Geoff Hayes. He was a real character, and he had his own...
Hold on, an ice cream chemist?
Chemist, yeah. Do you know who else was an ice cream chemist? Margaret Thatcher.
An ice cream? What is an ice cream chemist?
Well, somebody who formulates because it's not all milk and honey, it's...
Never heard of that
all
before.
kinds of chemicals and stuff. His dad had been on the halls as a hypnotist. He played piano.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an Eddie Condon style thing. And Jeff's son used to come along. And it's the first time I heard anybody play different instruments on the same tune. So he might do a sort of freewheeling clarinet on the first chorus. And then he did a tenor solo in the middle. I thought, that's so cool doing it.
Yeah.
And then he'd end up on the baritone for the last chorus.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's great,
Yeah. So when did you switch to the alto saxophone?
It was 15. 15th birthday, yeah.
Wow.
I've still got the same horn.
You still got the same horn?
Yeah.
That's this one, is it?
This one here, yeah. I've played
That's
that
amazing.
for 50 years now.
That's amazing.
I've been through the pearls twice, and it's a bit like the oldest hammer in the world with the 12 new handles and the new... But the actual... the thing the thing is basically there, you know.
The oldest hammer in the world.
Yeah, 12 new heads, 12 new handles.
But the bones of it is the original. I mean, so apart from the keys and everything.
Yeah, the keys and the actual body of the instrument.
Amazing.
Pads, yeah.
Acker was your first hero. What happened after Acker? I mean, presumably you heard Bebop, did you?
No, I was listening to those records on a band called the Dutch Swing College.
Oh, I remember them, yeah.
Yeah, which was great because I had a Dutch friend at school who got me into those. And then when I went to buy the saxophone, my dad spent 200 quid on this saxophone, and it was a considerable amount of money then.
Yeah.
And there was an old saxophone player in the shop, Stock and Chapman in Manchester, who obviously thought I was a spoilt brat.
Because he's got a really good horn.
Because he bought me a really... And my dad was an engineer, so he just looked at it as an engineering prospect, not as any music. Just said, this is the best made one for the price.
Yeah.
And then the guy said to me, oh, now you've got that, get some Johnny Hodges records.
Yeah.
So I did. I bought a double album. And I also bought Saxophone Colossus because I had a picture of Sonny Rollins' face. And like growing up in Manchester, I'd never seen a face like that.
Yeah.
It just looked so imposing and handsome and brilliant. And he had a saxophone. And I didn't realise I was just buying one of the most important records made in the 1950s, you know.
Oh, yeah. How did you start to improvise? Did you transcribe or did you...
Well, the guy in Geoff Hazy's Hot Heights said, play the tune and embellish it if you can.
Okay.
You know, which is how I used to try. And,
right.
What's really basic is what I still do.
That's what everyone should do, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I was trying to explain to a student the other day what paraphrasing meant and it's the hardest thing to explain.
Right.
But you get Ben Webster, he'll play a tune like, what was the tune we were listening to? Someone to Watch Over Me.
Yeah.
And he actually doesn't play the melody, but you know it is that.
Yeah.
You aim for that without knowing what it is, really.
I love that phrase, paraphrasing. That's I've never thought of that before. So did you actually write stuff down when you were transcribing?
Yeah, all the time. So Art Pepper I transcribed. I heard him next on an album. And that seemed like the most attractive alto sound to me, and more understandable than Charlie Parker, for instance. You know, who
was difficult, wasn't it?
Well, it still is. Yeah. I mean, if you get into that Barry Harris thing, I got into that during lockdown more, and then you transcribe a bit of Charlie Parker, and you realise it is textbook. I mean, it's all come from that.
Charlie Parker just did it instinctively and then someone made a method out of it? Or how did...
Well, I think he did it perfectly and then the method came out. And they said, what on earth is he doing?
Yeah.
It's this.
So Barry Harris came along and actually codified it and made it into
I think so, yeah. As to Bird being a natural, I'm always suspicious of that. He used to say he practiced 15 hours a day, but I think he was also undoubtedly a genius.
Yeah.
There isn't any... I've never heard anything that's bad Bird.
No.
Even the one that's supposed to be a disaster, where he was having the nervous breakdown.
Yeah, even when he's completely off his face and he's stumbling around, he still plays beautiful.
That Lover Man, where he struggles to come in, it's still one of the most beautiful.
I mean, for me, Charlie Parker was exactly the same thing. Charlie Parker was what got me into jazz.
Right.
I've still got the tape. It was a Woolworths compilation of Charlie Parker. I've even got the little notebooks I started my transcribing in. The same, exactly the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, so inspiring.
I hear great players all the time. So many young great players and players have come up in my time, really famous ones. But there's a certain spirituality, shall we say, in a Coltrane or a Bird that speaks beyond the music, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bit corny, this stuff.
Yeah.
but it's what I feel.
True. Yeah.
You know, when you hear Bird of Paradise played by Bird, you know, you go... That's something other than the music happening, isn't it?
It's otherworldly, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
In those days, you know, they were playing standards, they were playing show tunes and making their own music out of it, weren't they? But they were stars, though, weren't they? Some of these jazz musicians, they were actually stars.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, like Harry Styles would be nowadays. You know, they were actual stars.
They were, and also they made a lot of money. I mean, when Sonny Rollins was signed after his sabbatical on the bridge, I think it was the highest signing that record company had ever done. It was thousands of dollars for new albums.
That's amazing. We can't really quite comprehend what that's like, can we?
No.
You know, it's amazing. Have you always been a teacher, an educator?
Not always, no. I did some teaching when I first moved to London in 1980. I'll be quite honest, I wasn't very good at it, and the prospect of teaching people used to terrify me.
Yeah.
Because I had nothing to tell them. Right. Really, other than that occasionally I get lucky on a set of chords.
Yeah. What about licks? Was there particular licks that you took out of your transcriptions, and how did you put them into your playing?
One of the ones I took quite a lot from was Clifford Brown's solo on Pent Up House.
Right.
And there's a lick on there. I used to play it so much that guys, we used to have that Tuesday night band with Gerard Presenter and Dave. They could hear it coming and they'd play it with me. Yeah. And I've got a couple of Benny Carter ones. Right. You see, the problem with transcribing is if you transcribe something, sometimes I can't hear that tune without playing a bit of the transcription. So there's Live at Montreux, Benny Carter in a mellow tone. Yeah. And it's just so perfect. Yeah. And Bruce Adams often plays that with me.
I guess you can hear that as part of the composition in some ways.
Well, it is, yeah. It's like certain intros, isn't it?
Can you play me what that lick is?
I can play you the lick.
Yeah?
The Clifford Brown one. That's the one on... Wow. That's on D minor G7. She's coming down from the 11th to the... It just comes down the chord, but from the 11th on the D minor. And then it hooks under the 3rd of the next chord. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Amazing.
Another one that I really love is when you're in a minor key. Lester Young used to do this thing where he played when he landed on the minor, however he got there, and then he'd land on the 3rd, and then he'd go to the 5th and up to the 6th. Nice. And I just thought that sounded so...
Really hip.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. When you're improvising and you feel a lick coming on, do you not feel that it's kind of stifles your improvising process?
Yes, all the time. Yeah. I mean, this is the problem. I did all this study on Barry Harris, which is... I've discovered quite a lot of what I was already doing went with the rules because you've stolen stuff. Yeah. But you have to ask yourself, don't you? Am I here, or is it just? Am I just the conduit for other people's stuff? Yeah, right. And I think most of us accept early on we're not going to be a major figure, but that doesn't stop you doing it. But yeah, some of this Barry Harris stuff now, I find it crippling because I'm going, and if I get one in, I think, that's good. Yeah, but is it good? I'm not sure it is.
Would you say it's better to start a solo with a completely clear mind, for example?
Well, I had this discussion with Mark Nightingale, a great jazz trombonist, and he said, the worst thing you can do is stand there while everyone else is planning your first phrase.
Yeah.
It's going to go wrong.
Right.
You have to see what comes out.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking about it, and you think, it's like a tightrope walker looking down. You start thinking about it. And there's another conversation I had with Scott Hamilton in the car. Scott's great to listen to music with, and he listens to music all the time. So we did a couple of quintet albums. We toured both of them, and I would be in the next hotel room to him. As soon as he got in the hotel room, the iPod was on. Yeah. And it was jazz all the time. He can hear everything. He knows all this stuff. And I was talking to him about it. Felt his playing had been really messed up by thinking. He says he never thinks, he just plays.
But of course, on the back of that, you need to prepare, don't you? You need to have the foundation of preparation before you get to that. Yeah. Young musicians say, how do we get to that point?
Just have to keep doing it and hoping. And put your priorities in order, I would suggest, which are the things people hear. Mm-hmm. One of the things they hear, the main thing they hear is your sound. Yeah. If you get up there and you've got an ugly sound, they go, oh dear. Yeah. And then the next thing that comes across is the time. And, and as horn players, when you sometimes play on your own, or you do two horns together, I'm always aware the drummer's going, oh, Christ, pulling her face, and the bass player's going, come on. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I try and work on all the time is my own time. Yeah. To the point that the students I do have, I say, even if you do long notes, do them in time. Yeah. Counter tempo through them. Yeah.
So do you play along with things, or do you use a metronome, or what's your
I've started using a metronome. I thought, oh no, that's not human time, but actually, you've only got to be in the studio a few times and hear the playback and hear that you're the one in the section that ain't quite on top of it to go, oh right, come on, Barnesy,
Yeah.
But
when you're in a big band, you're lead alto, though, you're dictating that very much, aren't you?
Yes, you are. I'm not I don't consider myself a lead alto. I like playing second alto, and I like playing baritone in a big band. Now, baritone's so big, you got to put the information in a bit earlier. It's weird, but you do.
It's like the double bass. Yeah,
is that how that works?
Yeah, exactly. It takes a while for the sound to develop, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah.
So I soon realised that I had to rush a bit in a section.
Interesting. Yeah.
Perhaps rush the entry, not after you're in.
Yeah.
But to go, you hear those things like those Tower of Power things that they got a baritone. But
it's really up front, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
amazing,
there's no doubt. Yeah.
So getting back to the teaching, you were saying you found it difficult. So is it like developing a method? Did you find that you had to find a method for your...
Yeah, I had to give them things to do that would improve them.
Yeah.
One of the things I try and teach and get away from is just this always scales and these horrible names.
Yeah, the modes and things like that.
Mixolydian, Phrygian, altered Phrygian. Is there an altered Phrygian? I mean, I just cannot imagine Sue Sims and Al Cohn getting up.
Well, they wouldn't have done, would they?
No. Everything they play is right.
Yeah.
And it's on the changes.
Yeah. It's a language, isn't it? What it is.
It is a language. I mean, just to get the alto out again, and when we're going to play this tune, So Nice to Come Home To, I mean, okay, you've got quite a lot of just A minor at the beginning. The notes of the chords sound great, don't they? That's all chord notes. And to me, that's... I didn't know I was going to play that, but it's quite a nice...
So play another version of it.
Oh, okay.
So A, that's your tonality, that's the root.
Yeah. And so... But if you enclose...
So that's taking a note above and below the chord tone, isn't it?
The scale note above and the semitone below.
Yeah.
But in the minor, I like playing the one it depends. You've got that area in minor, haven't you? You've got the 6 or the flat 6. Now, here's another conversation I had with Henry Lowther. I was talking about all these different things you can play on the minor. He says, any one of the minor scales fits if you're in the minor. Yeah. And I thought, that's right.
It's true, yeah.
They do. They all fit everywhere, really.
Like harmonic minor, if you come down a harmonic minor scale, it kind of sounds a bit like bebop, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dee-da-da-dee-da-da.
Of course it, yeah. Yeah. It does, yeah.
Fantastic, yeah. So when did you start teaching then? Was it a necessity or was it a...
it was
a lot of musicians do teach because they don't have enough gigs, for example.
Well, I started with the ILEA when I came down to London, so I started getting some gigs. But I gave that up after about 6 months. Bit soul-destroying, getting kids coming in for 20 minutes clarinet that didn't want to be there in some quite tough schools, you know. Yeah, and then I started getting invited to do courses later on.
Yeah.
That was
like the Wavendon course, for example. I remember I was on those as well. Yeah, they were great, weren't they? That's kind of started off the summer school kind of thing, didn't it?
And of course, you start to hear people who are more organised about teaching than yourself. Yeah. And you stop viewing it as a sad thing you have to do because you haven't got enough gigs. Yeah. And you think, hang on, this is another area you could excel at.
So you sort of started taking it a bit more seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And now I really enjoy it, enjoy the results.
So when you teach, like if you're an ensemble on a summer course, do you use a lot of music? Do you get them reading or do you do a lot of stuff by ear?
I try and mix it up. If you're going to do something by ear, you've got to really pick something that's possible for the standard of the group. If you start saying, right, we're going to learn Pannonica by ear, and everybody's struggling, would struggle with St. Thomas, it's like, there's no point.
So when did you come to London?
1980.
1980, right, okay.
June the 6th.
June the 6th, okay. What time?
Well, my dad again, he dropped me off at 10:30 at night.
That's fantastic. And what was the first thing you did when you came to London?
I went to sit in at a place called the Pindar of Wakefield, where there was a guy called Keith Nichols, and I sat in with him. Came down with a guy called Paul Lacey, who plays trumpet, and we sat in, and he gave me a part for something, and he said, "Oh, you can read as well. We're looking for people to cover rehearsals with the Midnight Follies Orchestra."
Wow.
Which was quite something. It was music of Harlem in the 30s. And
was that like a residency or something?
No, they did lots of gigs around. Right. And from there I joined the Pasadena Roof Orchestra same year, which was a touring band, which was quite remarkable, really. Yeah. From that I managed to buy a tenor and a baritone. So I was kind of...
And did you start leading your own band at this, or did that come later?
Well, no, I joined Tommy Chase then.
Tommy Chase, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was 3 years of that.
So that was in the 90s, wasn't it?
No, that was 83 to 86. And Tommy, you met him, did you?
Yes, I remember him. One of the world's loudest drummers, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. He was also quite an aggressive mind controller. He would brainwash you into certain things. Mm-hmm. I'm very grateful to him for a lot of things.
A hustler, and obviously got work, right?
He did, yeah. But he did give me some good things, like play something you can sing instead of flying about the instrument, Okay. And then, and he could sing all the Clifford Brown solos, which is pretty impressive.
That's amazing for a drummer, yeah.
Yeah, and but careful if you let them hear that. That's amazing for a drummer.
Sebastian de Crom, he can also do that.
Yeah. I mean, he knows all the different takes, doesn't he, of everything? Yeah.
Proper jazz nerd.
Yeah.
Sorry, Seb. Yeah. And then, of course, when I first met you was in the 90s, wasn't it, with the Jazz Renegades?
Yeah, it was, early 90s.
So how did that come about?
Well, that was, I'd left Tommy, and I think Steve Rose suggested me for that. And I started doing charts for that, because they didn't really have any charts. I was getting more into writing.
Steve White, the drummer Steve White.
It was Steve White, but there was Steve Rose, who was playing organ.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he's a bass player now.
Oh, is it the same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's a connection. Dennis Mundy, that managed that band, who was something to do with the Style Council, he's the guy who'd compiled the Johnny Hodges record I bought when I was 15. Can you believe that?
Amazing. You were kind of co-leading that with Steve White, weren't you, the Jazz Renegades?
Yeah, and I was lucky enough at the time, a guy called John Miles had Miles Music record. He wanted to record me. He recorded me first with Tommy Whittle, which has just been re-released on CD, which was a vinyl with extra tracks, and then he did my own quartet. So
how has it been over the years being a band leader and releasing your own CDs and records?
Well, I recorded a lot for other labels. Yeah. I've been on lots of different ones. Nagel Hire, Warren Vacher, Zephyr, Concord, did 3 records for Concord. Sometimes they choose the take you didn't want. Or I did one once where I was messing about in the studio impersonating Earl Bostic. And the guy said, "Oh, that's the one. We'll put that one out." I went, "Oh, no, you can't."
Yeah. And you've run your own record label as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's over 20 years, 23 years, I think. Yeah. And that was because I wanted to...
Just to have a bit more control.
Yeah. So I was in Humphrey Littleton's band for 5 years. And when I left, I'd saved some money. So I had 3 days recording, which produced 3 albums in the end. So
doesn't take long to make a jazz album, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, especially not if you book the guys I booked, which were Ian Dixon, Andy Panay, Martin Shaw, Dave Newton, Paul Morgan, Mark Taylor. Yeah. And that's when I first did a duo album with Dave, because I met Dave in
Dave Newton.
Yeah, I met him in 1977 when I went to college. We shared a bedroom, bizarrely, in our digs.
And that's a partnership that continues, really.
It does,
always has done, yeah. So that brings us nicely on to composing and arranging. Are you a natural composer? Do you do that a lot?
If I need to write a tune, I can more or less do it. Sometimes it gets stuck.
So what's your process?
I like to have a title.
You start with a title?
Yeah, that's why I write these. I mean, I've written quite a few literary suites, like Jazz Christmas Carol, David Copperfield, Sherlock Holmes suite. Yeah. I mean, if you've got a title like The Tiger of San Pedro... Yeah. You've
got images going into your
you've
brain.
Got a mood already. You've got a brooding bass line and a bit of menace in there.
Yeah.
I never have to check my titles because I don't think anybody's written a song called Mr. Dick Flies His Kite. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not going to... Yeah. I mean, I'm very grateful to Mark Nightingale because he's been in my octet for donkey's years, and I gave him kind of carte blanche early on to say what he thought. It's actually similar to my relationship with Andy Panay, is that when you meet somebody who's obviously so mega talented, you'd be a fool if you started not asking what they thought.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree every time.
Well, someone like Andy Panay, who's a genius. I mean, he plays on all 4 of the quartet apps now.
Right.
We've recorded 500
right.
standards now.
Wow.
And Andy's on probably 300 of those tracks that we recorded over a period of 5 or 6 days in total. So you're talking about recording 25 tunes a day and just improvising and just playing various instruments. And Andy would pick up an alto flute, alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, just randomly picking up instruments and playing the most amazing stuff.
Well, he can do that.
He really can do it, can't he?
Yeah.
Hopefully he's going to be a guest on this as well, so I'm going to get to chat to him as well.
Well, I'd love to hear that one.
Yeah. But you're right. Asking an opinion from your contemporaries that's probably not something that happens that much, I don't think.
I think 2 things come out of that is you strengthen your bond with that person. It just means you learn a hell of a lot. Mark's great. I got him to edit my David Copperfield suite, and he says, "Oh God, not this rhythm again." And then a backing figure comes in. He goes, "This sounds familiar." Yeah. So, I mean, he's amazing, Mark. Once I handed out a new chart for the octet, and he looked at the first bit, and he looked along the line, and he got to Robert Fowler's part, and he went, "Think you should have a C natural in bar 4, Robert." God, he hadn't even heard it yet.
Oh my God.
Spotted. Yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it? Okay, so let's talk about the apps. Are you aware of my quartet apps?
Yes, I know they exist.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Basically, let me just explain what they do. So it's a live trio playing standards. Within the app, you can change key, you can change tempo, you can loop sections, you can have different mixes, you can have piano, bass and drums, which is the default. You can add a soloist on the top if you want. You can have bass and drums, piano and drums, any combination that you want.
Right.
All available inside the app. It's a brilliant practice tool. So we're just about to release volume 3 and 4, which is why I'm here. I'm doing lots of promo, and I just thought making a podcast would be a fantastic idea to promote the apps and also get to speak to some great people as well.
Yeah.
So you've picked a tune. I gave you my list, and you picked "You'll Be So Nice to Come Home To."
Yeah.
So why did you pick that?
Well, it's on Art Pepper Meets the Rhythm section.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one of those tunes. You get a chunk of minor, then you get the major, and then you get another 2/5 in a minor key, as it were, minor 7 flat 5 to a flat 9 chord. And I find especially when I'm teaching, that's the area that everybody doesn't quite get naturally.
A minor 2/5
Yeah, minor 2/5.
So if you were going to ask someone to improvise on this for the first time, would you have any tips? Where would you start?
Well, I'd start by saying that the first chord isn't A minor 7.
Yeah,
it's A minor. So you're looking at A. Am I in the right key? Yeah. A minor as a tonic center. Not some droning modal nonsense.
We've already said that you don't like the modes. Yeah.
And then you've got this lovely thing where you can do your harmonic minor, or if you want to be pedantic, what you do on your 2 chord, but you can do it just by adding notes to the scale you've got. Mm-hmm. So the A minor is think of it as A minor 6. So that's an F sharp on your C scale. And then you go to your 2 chord, B minor 7 flat 5, which is just the C scale. And then you add a G sharp to that C scale, and you've got your harmonic minor.
Yeah, just changing one note can make a lot of difference, can't it?
Yeah, that's why I used to hate autumn leaves, but I really love it because you get your 2/5-1-4 in the
a major key.
And then you get this chord, which is the 2
of the
new one, but it's also the 7 of the previous key.
Yeah.
which I think is wonderful.
Awesome Moves is the perfect tune, isn't it, for practicing that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're improvising, do you have a sense of a tonic and a 5, like an altered 5? Do you think of that as well?
Well, you're always in a key, aren't you?
You are thinking kind of modally, aren't you? You're thinking of A minor as a whole thing, rather than A minor to E7 and back. You're not thinking.
Yeah, I'm not thinking. No, it's just
So you just think your lines are the most important thing.
Yeah, but it's like the line of the tune.
Yeah.
I mean, the tune does that, doesn't it? I mean, it's kind of tonic, dominant, tonic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you've got a nice 2-5-1 in the major.
Yeah.
The relative major, so you can do your stuff there.
I'll get the track up.
Okay.
Let me. Maybe you can demonstrate a couple of these things. I mean, there's 2 choruses on here. Let me just I'll get your track up here.
Also, there's the 2 ways of looking at the tune.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you think about the tune. Does the tune have to be exactly what the composer wrote?
Well, it doesn't, no, does it? You're paraphrasing, like you said earlier. Yeah.
Quite a well-known older musician once sent me a letter with 2 bars sellotaped in it saying, for your information, the end of that verse 16 of that tune should be this, not what you're playing.
Oh,
But I thought, I did know that.
You're completely free to have 2 choruses.
Oh my God.
Whatever you like, right? Without playing the tune. Maybe some paraphrasing. Here we go. So this is your intro, which is the last 8, right? Yeah. Great. So
I was aware I kept playing the same, this, about 12 times.
it's funny, as soon as you start recording, isn't it, how your mind changes and you
It does, yeah. I mean, that's an interesting point about improvising, is sometimes you'll be playing with guys that you don't know and they're semi-pros, say, and they're very good. And sometimes you play your best then because you think, hey, I'm great. Years ago, I walked on at a festival feeling all confident and had a couple of pints, feeling great. And you look out and there's Peter King having a cup of coffee. There's Bobby Wellings wandering about, Dick Morrissey, and you go, oh I'm not as good as I thought I was. And you start thinking about everything.
Yeah, that's tough.
And before you know what you are, you've talked yourself out of it.
But once you start playing, you soon surely you go to another place and you forget
try
about
to,
it,
but you keep thinking, well, that wasn't very good. I wonder what Pete thinks. And of course, you've got to get out of that.
Do you like to challenge yourself? The example that comes to mind is playing with Peter. He would always play the same tunes.
Yeah.
Do you find as you get older, you more comfortable playing the same tunes, or do you like to play new material?
No, I always, all these folders here are different things that I like to get out. For instance, there's a tune I've played for years, haven't played it for about 20 years. I got it out again in the middle of a kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else plays
Al
that.
Boli, that's a really old 20s thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And for certain points in the gig, when you just want that medium walker, again, a minor to major thing, And people go, oh, I like that. There's certain tunes I used to avoid, like Green Dolphin Street. And then you realise it's the perfect set of changes to play on.
Yeah.
So why am I avoiding it? Because there is a reason everyone plays it. Or as we said earlier, Autumn Leaves.
Have you got a favourite standard that you will always kind of call?
No, that changes, And I even like the harmonically simpler ones, like When You're Smiling. And things like that, Bye Bye Blackbird, because it's harder to play tunes that just hang about. Secret Love's another one.
Yeah.
Acres of one.
Do you find it easier to play on changes, or do you find it difficult to play on a modal tune? Impressions, for example, a tune that has...
Yeah, I'm not that hot on that. I do have certain things I've sort of practiced where you run out and run back in, but that soon starts to sound like Module 4 of the Guildhall, doesn't it? Book 12 of the, something or other. Point I was going to make about Peter when you said he played the same tunes all the time. Yes, every time I went to see his quartet, it was the same repertoire. But if you got him on a festival and you were put with him, he would play anything. I remember him once trying a tenor out on a stall at the back of Appleby, and we were doing a set together. He just came on and played tenor, and it was incredible. And he did I Can't Get Started as a feature on this tenor he'd never played before.
Wow. Because
he used to be a tenor player, of course, for a while.
Yeah.
And,
until Tubby Hayes went off with his wife.
Well, yeah, and he stayed in the band. Weirdly. Oh, man. Yeah.
Wow. Did you read Peter's book?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I guess there's always a price for that. Played with Pete at the Bull's Head once, and he just came up with this incredible thing on Fast I Got Rhythm. I sat down with him in the interval. I said, come on, just give me some insight. What was that? And he went, well, it's B flat, really. I went, all right, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't even think about it. There's so much history, deep stuff that he's learned over the years, from being on a gig and, that it just flows out of him, doesn't it, like a language?
Yeah.
Amazing, yeah. Couple of quick fire questions, which I've said to ask for everyone. Some of them are a bit silly, but some of them will lead to other conversations. Let's start with a favourite album.
A favourite album of all time
that you love.
I've already mentioned it, Saxophone Colossus. It doesn't matter if you're an alto player or a tenor player. If you transcribed that, there's just about enough to keep you going for a career in there.
Mate, Sonny Rollins, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So a favourite musician, alive or dead, you'd like to play with?
Well, I do play with him sometimes. My favourite saxophone player in this country is Alex Garnett, I would say.
Wow.
He has a freedom in his playing and a vocabulary, quite a lot of which I don't understand, but it always sounds great, and it's certainly not repetitive. So I really think he's about the best I've heard.
Amazing. I should get him on this podcast.
You should do, yeah.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Would you say there was a highlight of your career? Like a memorable gig or something like that?
Well, I'll tell you, Warren Vacher asked me to write the pad for his 12-piece band and tour America for 3 months with it. Wow. With an all-star band, and that was a hell of an experience because it was Jake Hanna on drums, and Ricky Woodard was in the band, Harry Allen, whole bunch of guys. And
you did coast to coast, did you?
Yeah. And I know opportunities arise for a lot of musicians to go to America and do rock things, but to actually do a swing
when you're
show,
touring.
Met some incredible people, came to the shows. Panama Francis came, and the guy that played tenor with Charlie Christian, that guy, Jerome, forgotten his name now.
Wow.
He was a sort of perky Florida pensioner, came along. So that was, and like listening to Jake tell stories and some of the wisdom he came out with. Yeah. Jake always pretended he couldn't read.
Right.
So, because I handed him the drum pad and he went, "Oh, you jest. But I was listening at the time to Un Poco Loco, that thing with the
funny kind of tripling thing.
And he wrote the 3 different take cowbell patterns out for me.
Wow.
And I thought you could.
He really knows his stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, Jake was swing like unbelievable.
Amazing. Yeah.
Sweet, yeah.
So you have done some pop stuff, haven't you?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I remember you played with Brian Ferry, didn't you?
Yeah, twice. I left once and I got fired the last time. Yeah.
What was that like?
It's hard. I don't want to get into knocking other types of music. It's just not enough content
It's
to
not
keep
for
me
you,
interested.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's not what I want to do with my life.
No.
And maybe some people are so into pop, they would do it if it didn't pay any money. But I can't imagine. I mean, isn't that the incentive?
Of course, yeah.
For a musician. I mean,
Yeah.
if it paid the same as a jazz gig, you'd do the jazz gig, wouldn't you?
Yeah, totally, yeah. What's the last concert you went to?
Oh, God, now you're going to go right back. I've been to see all the musicians in pubs and things, but going to a concert, not for years.
Right.
I'm ashamed to say.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
What would you say your musical weakness was?
My musical weakness was starting off with a not very good ear. I had to train myself to get an ear. I didn't know how people did things by ear. Mm-hmm. I got into college and got in quite a high oral group, so maybe I was better than I thought I was. Dick Horden played trumpet with the Dankworth band and all that in the 50s, and we had an improvisation class, and he said, okay, we're going to sing our 12 harmonic minor scales. And of course, I was deadly embarrassed, and he said, don't worry, I've got a voice like a foghorn. And that's when you realise that singing as an aid to playing doesn't have to be professional standard singing, and nobody else has to hear it.
Yeah.
It has to be you.
Because you have to hear the music inside you before it comes out of you.
Of course
don't
you do, yeah.
So,
And students often say to me, how would you learn tunes? And I say, well, how would you not? And then I realise that sometimes jazz is like golf for them. It's like something they do. But when you're chopping onions and making your spaghetti bolognese, you put ABBA on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's like music for fun, and then there's this terrible thing you have to put yourself through and study. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be branch of the entertainment industry, isn't it?
Do you ever get nervous on stage?
No, I don't. Except if Nigel Hitchcock pops in,
stands next to you,
stands next to me. You know, I don't think that's nerves. That's just an abandonment of hope.
Yeah. When you're playing large gigs, and like play at the Albert Hall and those sort of big occasions.
Yeah, I mean, I do that less and less and less. But I've had to do things like I played the Artie Shaw at clarinet concerto at the Barbican, and I've had to do things at the Albert Hall which involve going out the front and playing the clarinet. And going wrong isn't an option, is it?
No.
So. No.
But you've had enough experience that even if you do play a wrong note, you can make it into a right note, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, unless somebody really knows I mean, how classical players cope with the
playing everything meticulously correct. Yeah.
I mean, it's staggering. I mean, there's clarinet players popping up all the time on YouTube. I've never heard anything like it. Yeah. The tonguing and the tone and where they're all going to work, I don't know. But it's beyond comprehension.
Yeah. Amazing. So a couple of more silly questions for you. What's your favourite sandwich?
Favourite sandwich? Now, let me think. I like ham with Emmental on a crusty French stick.
Oh, very good.
With English mustard.
With English mustard. Have you got a favourite movie?
A favourite movie? I would say, let me think. Yes, Last Holiday with Alec Guinness. Alec Guinness.
Okay, is that one of the Ealing
I think
comedies?
It is an Ealing one. It's a story of a guy who is told he hasn't got long to live, and he changes his life and becomes a massive success.
Right.
All the time, the spectre of death is there with him, and there's a violinist keeps turning up who sort of represents fate. And then he discovers he's been wrongly diagnosed, but because of the way he changed his life.
Yeah, he's a different guy.
And he's become hugely rich and successful.
Yeah.
He can't believe it. So coming back from the doctors, of course, he gets killed in a car accident. But I love that film.
You've given it away now.
Oh, sorry, yeah. There's another film, I think it's called Kagemusha, the Japanese film about the emperor dying. They find a criminal who looks exactly like him, but has none of the great attributes of the dead emperor. Yeah. But they've got to replace him or war will break out. So they get him in there and they say, oh, for God's sake, keep him away from the horses and the concubines because they'll know. And gradually, pretending to be the emperor, he becomes him. And they forget that he's replaced
He's not the real
him.
one. Right.
The reason I like that film is kind of why to me. I wanted to be a jazz musician so much. couldn't do it, pretended I was one, and lo and behold,
Before you know it, you're doing it. Yeah.
yeah, before you know it, you're earning a living at it, and you think, oh God, I hope nobody ever finds me out.
But this is the thing about improvising, don't you think? It's if you've got enough confidence.
That is the key. Confidence and a bit of attitude and swagger.
Yeah, totally.
And not being embarrassed about yourself. I mean, some of my favourite players are not the absolute A-team. You know, sometimes you just want to hear G.G. Grice play the alto and not Bird. Do you know what I mean?
Totally, yeah. Do you have a favourite venue to play in?
I do like playing at the Pizza Express, actually.
Yeah.
That's set up as a proper jazz club. And they have jazz on, you know.
And a favourite place in the world, favourite city?
I haven't been there that often, but I love Paris.
And finally, a silly question, a favourite chord to play on?
Favourite chord? A minor 6 chord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it went out of fashion, didn't it?
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
At all, no.
It's been great.
I've got lots of it.
Yeah.
Time.
So, Alan, thanks very much, and we'll say goodbye, and I'll see you soon, hopefully.
I hope so.
Maybe we'll do a part 2 at some stage.
Yeah, lovely.
So much to talk about.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you fancy a bit of lunch?
Thank you for making it to the end of another podcast. Please subscribe if you want to hear more of them as they land. The Quartet Jazz Standards podcast is a UK music apps production. Quartet for iOS, taking your jazz play along to another level. Search for Quartet on the App Store or find out more at quartetapp.com.